Before we start, I would like to give a quick introduction. For those who are here, thank you very much for taking time out. To give you an idea of where Vijay comes from, what he does, he's the founder of Up and Rise Learning and Development Private Limited. He was working with Urban Ladder Home Decor Solutions as head of learning and development. And he also has 15 plus years of training experience in soft skills, people and personality development, sales and customer support. And he's a winner of Great Managers Award 2018 from People Business, partnered by Economic Times and ET Now. Vijay has been a professional coach and influencer who's been training the art of self-delivery for close to 2 decades. He's a recognized trainer and his modules are always analytical, emotional, and empathetic. He's been passionate about his work because the focus is more on personal and professional life coaching, creative and entrepreneurial consulting, inspirational speaking, soft skill development, and personality management. There's lots more that we can talk about his approach and how he handles people. But I think I will let Vijay take over. We've waited for a while. So all over to you.
Yes.
From negative to positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. It looks pretty nice when we put that there. So that there are not many people. So I was thinking either we should be active in the chat or also people can unmute and talk if they really wanted to say something in between. I'm completely fine with that. I'm basically a trainer, a face-to-face, a classroom field kind of a trainer, doing a little Zoom, lately thanks to COVID. So I was just wondering, the way you just introduced, I'm sure everybody, when we talk about, we'd also introduce like that. Like I have, she has done a pretty well in giving my introduction. Let me take it a little more, talking about my experiences as such. Last 17 years I've been into training, been doing only training. I had started my NGO some time back. Then I had to move to different corporates to work there, work for a company called as Lush, which is a handmade cosmetic from UK, pretty nice experience. You visit London every quarter, learn something from there, come back, Indianize, and put it back to the people over here. Urban Ladder was a wonderful, wonderful journey for me. From the scratch of setting up an L&D function, I've done a lot of stuff there. So these are pretty good stuff. I'm sure every one of us, when we introduce ourselves or when somebody else, like this kind lady who introduced me, we talk all stuff which we have achieved. But my point is, there are certain other things which contributed or which have been part of this entire journey, which we might not talk so much about. But many a times we would have overcome that. Couple of such things I would want to share, which I would normally have not shared much, in any of the public forums, keeping the topic in mind. So I'm basically from Orissa. Orissa, there's a place called as Berhampur, where I was born, brought up. I've come to Bangalore to do my MBA, say 17, 18 years back. Day one in my MBA class, I was supposed to stand there and introduce myself, tell everybody who I am, like how, we're trying to do a little bit here, but that was in front of people. And I can stand, but I couldn't open my mouth. I don't know a single word properly to talk. Say 20% of it would be fear, because I was not so scared a person from my childhood. But 80% is just that I do not know how to talk English, especially. My mentor there, Arnold Mascarenhas, he came to me and said, Vijay, don't worry, 5 years. Take 5 years, you should be in a position to come back and teach these people the subject of business communication, which I was attending that day. Things happened. It didn't took 5 years, it took 3 years. In 3 years, I have come back, joined the same institute, but I was given the subject called as strategic management. And I was asking them, is it okay if I also take business communication? And the joke is, when I've entered the class, Arnold Mascarenhas is still teaching business communication, and he was a visiting faculty, so that I was a full-time faculty. I was being given that. The the struggle there, from the 5-year journey, which happened actually 3 years, a lot of stuff happened in between. There are many such stories. I'm sure every one of you would have also faced so many such things, which would have transformed you to something. Sometimes we know how this has happened. Sometimes we just don't know. Things actually happen. What I tried to do over here, I tried to carefully look at it and analyze it and try to bring it to you people, how it actually works. How do we change from this negative thing to a positive thing? That's basically the topic at this moment. Negativity, I think at this moment, if someone talks negative, I'm sure it's all Corona, it's all COVID-19, it's all the cases that we have, the problems that we face, the lockdowns that we had, the job losses that we're having, the business losses that we're having. When initially, the initial days of COVID, I was talking, to a friend of mine, and I'm saying, what would Corona do to a person like me? I mean, into my business, I'm just couple of people, kind of a company who do consulting with organizations setting up their L&D function. What happens? Next day, I had a training in TVS, wherein I think 12 different districts from Karnataka were supposed to come, and were supposed to have a training near the TVS center in Hosur. I got a call saying that no travels were banned, so this training is been pushed. And trust me, it hasn't even started yet. So that's the first hit where I have felt, and I'm sure everybody facing that. Now, negativity is, as I said, at this moment it is COVID. Some other moment it's something else. Some other thing it's, it could be something else. We all go through it, face it. Now, something which you would have always, heard when people say that, who can help you when it's when you are in the state of negativity and all. And I'm sure everybody understands, or everybody would have read this or got a message, or somebody would have WhatsApped you, or you would have Googled. So many speakers talk so many things. Everyone knows that who can help you is just you, which is very, very true. Nobody else can help. But the problem is, many a times nobody tells us how, right? We all know that we are the one who needs to do something to help ourselves. But how do we do that? How do we help ourselves? So there is a small process that I have, we could say, devised or learned from my experience. Now, this is something which I have seen in my life, which is something which I have seen, it worked wonders for me. This isn't from any place or anything I can say that, okay, this particular people have suggested this, but this has worked with me and it has done wonders for me. This small, simple process, I call this a 3-step process. Now, see, moving from a negative to positive is basically a mind shift change. I'm sure you would have heard this word also a lot, mind shift. Any mind shift is actually a process. Sometimes we understand it, sometimes we do not really understand. We think that give it some time, it will automatically set. Many a times you would have faced this. Give some time to it. Your problems will solve. Have you ever faced this thing? Have you been ever told this from someone, or have you told this to anybody else, saying that give it some time, it will solve? If you have done it, type yes. I would also know that you people are interacting. Type yes if you have felt this. If you have not done this, then say no. No problem. People don't chat. Okay, I got a yes from one. Right. So many a times this happens. Like we've been said, give it some time. It happens. See, what happens in the time is what is important. Mind shift is always a process, and process will have steps. Steps are like, say, when I say step 1, step 2, step 3, you need to follow it in that way. When you follow steps, then you complete the process. And when you master these steps, you actually evolve, and you would get success there. Steps needs to be followed in a sequence. That's exactly how it happens. Now, when it comes to negativity, right, the first step to me is understanding to acceptance. Understanding and digesting the fact where we are. Imagine, or try to recall your situation when initially this COVID thing has happened, right? People were all so much worried, and then we are like not in position to accept somebody from China did something, and lot of problems. These people have come out, they have did something. That's why the cases increased. We had a number of discussions. I'm not a kind of a person who lives in past a lot, but I'm sure we all can recall quickly how things were happening, playing a havoc in our minds when we say that, how things happened at that moment. The key there is you need to digest the fact where we are. You need to accept it. You need to understand it to acceptance. That's the key there. The moment you understand this is the situation where I am now, you would have a scope, you would have a chance to move from there. Most of the time when people face challenges, face negativity, they stay there, they couldn't come out of it, and then they ruin a lot of things. It's just because they are not in terms with it. They are not in acceptance of what's happening. So the key thing is you need to accept. It is not like I'm going to be very, let's talk about positivity, and I would say that no, there is nothing like corona. There is nothing like a virus that would affect. You're not going to have. It's okay. Your business might have lost. It's okay. You lost your money. You would get it. No. These are serious problems. These are serious situations that we all are facing every day. But the moment you accept them, the way you look at them is very different. Then the moment you stay away from them and then start finding it in a very different way. Let me also share another example. Now this example, be with me. I'm going to carry it till the 3 steps that I was talking about. So in the introduction which I was giving, I told you I also had an NGO of mine. I was running, I had my own company, say 10 years before back than this. So it so happened, it was running pretty good. We were doing wonderful. We got a project in some interior parts in Orissa where we were taking care of tribal kids. We had 13 acres of land, 3 sides surrounded with river. So we were doing cultivation. We were growing vegetables, growing fruits, trying to build everything. So that place was pretty, disastrous place. When we walked in, 6 to 8 months we worked, and then we turned that place completely. And then that was running good. Things were happening very nice. We had got some funds through banks and all fine. And one fine morning when I have come back, I used a lot of my credit cards. That 10 years back, you would be aware, aware of that, how people used to sell credit cards, right? It's like just chips, just take it. People want to give you, 2 cards, 3 cards. So I had a lot of credit cards. I swiped them to make a working capital out of it, and then just try to get in as much possible. Sometime it happened. I had some issue. My partner had a different thought process. He just moved, or he just made me move from that. He said, okay, I'm not going to pay any of these things. And I was not taking care of finances. I was doing something else. Problems happened. So the end of it is like this. Overnight, I had some 8.5 lakhs of credit card loans on my head. And that's the end of the story. Next day, I had to move out of my office with my bag, and 8.5 lakhs of credit card loans. I'm sure who have using credit cards and not paid an EMI, you understand what happens if it's a 2,000 rupees and it's 8.5 lakhs. I was like fully done, finished. I thought, okay, this is the end of stuff, and things like that. I've moved from there. I evolved from there. Now this entire thing, what I'm trying to say is I'm connecting to this, this story of mine, what has helped me. So it took some time for me to understand and accept. I was not ready to accept it. Like I did so much effort. I worked so much. How is it possible that I lost it? See, it's not always your mistake or anybody's mistake. But what is important is it is definitely your responsibility that whatever we are today is our thing at this moment. My Guruji says this, all rules are my rules is one of his teachings. It took a lot of time for me to understand this thing. What is this? All rules are my rules. See, the moment you accept the situation and you feel, you come to terms with that and say that, okay, whatever happens here, I'm going to be part of it, active part of it. The way you look at the situation is going to be very different, and the way everything happens is going to be very, very, very different. You need to realize what we feel and what we fear. You need to know about it. When you need to, you shouldn't hide it. You need to face it, right? So understanding to acceptance talks about all those things, where you understand, you digest the fact that this is exactly happening and I'm in this situation and it's okay. From here, let me try to see what can be done. Right. So the initial panics of COVID, you would have seen so much, to slowly now, if you see yourself, you are fine. You know, imagine the situation when we have 200 cases in Bangalore or 100 cases in Bangalore, where like 100 cases, don't go out for anything, don't do anything, you know, stuff. Now there are some, I think, 80, 90,000 cases. I'm not even following it up at this moment, but still we are okay to go for a haircut and, do different stuffs. It's just that how things have, synced in. We have accepted it to a level. We take our own precautions, but we have accepted it. So accepting the current situations, and you need to also accept your anxieties and inhibitions, right? You would have certain things that's stopping you. You would have some fear, some worries, and it's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's not required to every time say that, okay, whatever situations I'm going to come out. It's okay to be a little worried. It's okay to be a little scared. But if you are consciously aware of that, okay, I'm in this situation, you would move very differently. That's the key point. So there are 5 strategies I have put, which helps to overcome this negative attitude. Let's quickly look at each of the strategy. The first thing is avoid the source of negativity. So it's like this, when you have a bad stomach, the first thing you should avoid is bad food. Then anything else would happen. So when you have so much of negativity all around, you need to find out what is the source of it and try to avoid. Imagine that situation where we are like glued to the TV to see what's the news, what's happening, how many here, which location, by word they used to give, okay, word number 142 has this many, that. Are you looking at it at this moment in that way? Maybe not. I'm not doing it definitely. So there are many of us, who would have picked it unconsciously or consciously. But what is important here is avoid the sources of negativity. Source of negativity will not help you in any way to come out of it. It will only, it's like that sinking sand. It will only pull you inside. So it's very important that we need to avoid the source of negativity. That's the first thing. The second strategy is stop amplifying. Now, so mind is wonderful instrument, It doesn't understand additions and subtractions. It only understands multiplications. So if you are happy, it multiplies. If you are sad, it multiplies. If you are hungry, it multiplies. If you are whatever, it just multiplies. So when mind multiplies things, it's your job to give it a right food so that it multiplies in a right thing. If you give negativity, it multiplies, it amplifies. Imagine the fear that we had when there are 100 cases in Bangalore. Everybody you look at with a different eye. Oh, maybe this fellow has, maybe this. Now when you have lakhs of cases, we're, I think, to a level cautious. We know what care to be taken, but we're still, we carry much less fear than what we used to carry in the beginning. It's just because your mind plays this game with you, it amplifies. Now, when mind amplifies anything and everything, it's our job to give it a right thing to amplify, maybe. Think about that. That's the second strategy. The third one for me, which worked extreme, wonderfully well, is always think extreme. Now, this is something which helps to come quickly out of it. Now, say for example, what could be the extreme thing that would have happened? If COVID comes, you would die. I mean, that's what could be the extreme thing. But now when you see, okay, the extreme is I would have dead by that. And today, if I have lost all my clients, I'm not that worried, isn't it? Because I have in my mind, I thought extreme. Okay, maximum I would have dead, or I would have been in hospitalized. The hospitals might have given me some 8-10 lakhs of bill to treat me. From there to you see where you are today. You're safe, you're good, you're doing fine. Maybe you had little problem with your work. Maybe you lost some business, you lost some clients. Some people would have lost their jobs, but oh, it's okay, you're alive. If you have actually gone to the extreme, then there is no problem at all. Anyway, we are not there at that moment. So my point here is, for a moment, if you think of an extreme, right, and don't stay there, otherwise you will again ruin yourself, and then quickly think where you are today, you would see you are in such wonderful position. It is just that we have expected something or thought something, that's why we're having a trouble like this. So thinking extreme is the third strategy. The fourth one is positive affirmations, which is very, very common. Many people do that, right? Try to convert, find a positive thing in everything that you see. For example, COVID is, it's like a curse, it's like a bane. But imagine after how many years of your life, you got a chance to spend this level of time with your family. Maybe it's a little too much then, so again we are trying to feel that, but then imagine how well it is helping you at this moment, connecting to so many people. So the thing about positive affirmation is, for everything that comes a negative thought, there could also be a positive aspect to it, right? I'm saying try finding the positive thing in everything that goes. Try finding a positive connection or positive link to everything negative that you feel. That would help. And I have a few, maybe I can just show. So that, like, say COVID-19 is a bane, I will never be able to meet my target. I did awful and would not be able to work on it. What if I fail again? These are kind of the negative mindsets. The positive could be, due to COVID, lately I have been spending more time with family. It is worth a try. I shall meet the target maybe next time. What if I win this time? Or I did awful today, but I will improve, right? It is just a little thoughts, little sentences, little lines that comes to our mind, and we start putting a positive affirmation to this. It works. It helps you to come. It helped me a lot. So these 5 strategies, and the 5th one is self-realization. The overall thing is basically self-realization. When you understand and you accept, is basically realizing that this is a place where I am right now. Whatever needs to be done is from here. So let me do everything possible from here. So realizing that the situation where you are will help you to move forward to the next thing. That's the step 1. Are we good? Are you all with me? Step 1. Can I see a yes or something from people? Because normally all your cameras are off, so I couldn't see anyone. Are you all with me? Say hi. Say yes in the chat. Yes. Okay, very good, very good. This is exactly what I do when I get some response from you. As a trainer, I don't know how many trainers are here. Trainers' fuel is the response from the participants. When participant puts a word, you would see the energy that comes in a very different level. So when people don't put it, we need to ask it in this way. Anyway, let's come back to the step 2. Are we good with time? Yes, we're good with time. Yeah. Step 2 is hope. Hope will bring positivity. Hope is a very powerful tool to set our emotions and mental state. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing, right? It also has its own problems, which we will talk in a while, but hope is good. When you start hoping about something that should happen, right, the way you would think is very different, right? Imagine you're hungry, and you know that there is no delivery that could be there, and suddenly you hope that maybe my mom would have cooked some good stuff in yesterday festival and would bring for me. The moment I start hoping that, the way I feel in my mind, right, it's very different. I start moving towards positivity. See, it's a journey, right, from negative to positive, and hope is like something which is in between, right? We'll talk about it in a little more detail, but that's what it does. When you hope for something, it starts giving you a thought which is towards positivity. right? It helps you to think in those directions. Hope basically gives you enough light to continue, right? We need to know this, and then we're good to go ahead. So it's like this. I'm sure you all, many of you would be driving cars or bikes, whichever you would have drove ever. I hope you would have also drove it at night, you know, uh, so that we're doing it every day. We are not maybe observing it, or, so keenly looking at it. But in a highway, when you drive in a night, with your headlights on, right? Have you ever tried switching off your headlight and then on? Right? Sounds a little crazy. I don't know how many of you have done that. But let's assume that we're keeping the lights on. You could only see. Okay, I have tried. Jagdish says you have tried. Yeah, it's wonderful. I've tried it a lot of times. It's very, very scary, actually. So it so happens when your lights are on in a dark highway when you're riding, you could hardly see some 20 meters ahead. Right? You can't see anything after that. So you have two choices there. Because you can't see anything and you're afraid of dark, you could stop your car and keep staring at the 20 meters that you can see. Or you drive with a hope that as I cover this 20 meters, I could see the other 20 meters. And as I cross that, I could see other. And now we are like so sure that yes, don't worry, you could drive on that 120 in a highway in the night also, because we know that as I cross there, I could be able to see that. So this is exactly how it happens in life. When you are with that negative thought, if you stand there and you got stuck there, you stopped there, you could only be there. The only way to come out is walk, is go, and hope gives you light to continue, right? It induces optimism. It's required. Now, I'm not saying that you should always be an optimistic person in life or a pessimistic person in life. I think you should be more of a realistic person to see what it is. But when you are in the negative, you need to go towards positive. It's the optimism will help you to go towards that, right? As I told you, your mind only knows multiplications. So when you give it some optimism, it produces, it multiplies that, and that's basically how it works. So hope will actually induce optimism. It motivates you, because now you are hopeful, you are motivated. Yes, I can maybe get up from my place, I can get up from my negative thing, and I can go ahead and do something, right? It brings strength, joy, and peace. Remember, I was telling you about my that example of that 8.5 lakhs I lost overnight in a credit card thing. For 3 months, almost 3 months, because I didn't know this technique and nobody told me the process. I learned this over there that time. 3 months, I was sort of hibernated. I was just hiding from everybody, because these are credit card people. They are just going to, they have different buckets, if you know little credit card thing, right? 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. The moment the buckets increase, the kind of people will come are different. The first one are lean, thin people. The last one are, big muscle people. So 3 months, I was hibernated. I was like stuck in some place. Couple of these strategies, or in fact, all of the strategies which I'm talking to you today has actually come from there. I was reading this book also at that moment. It's called as the book The Secret. If you have anybody of you have read it. Anybody read the book Secret? If you have read, say yes. So this book Secret basically talks 3 things, right? You ask, you wait, and then you accept it. It sounds stupid to me, or stupid to me then, when I was thinking, let's say you ask something and you wait and then you receive it. So the thing is like this, when you ask and you wait, you need to have trust that you're going to get it. And there are some certain things like that, it was mentioned there. So I was trying to ask, okay, all my financial problems should go out. I should be able to come out again, because I don't want to, be in that situation. So I had thought all those things. I have thought everything which was, law of attraction, everything which was all the strategies that I have mentioned, right? I thought about the extreme. What could happen extreme, right? I was not so weak in my mind also that I would have thought extreme of, a suicide or something. I thought extreme is this credit card people will catch me and they'll hit me. Then I thought if they hit me, then there is no problem. I was reading some articles. If a credit card people hit you, you can directly go to the police station and then they will settle. And they will settle means there's nothing anywhere from me to take. So it will close. I was fine there. But that's one way of looking at it. The other side, I want to solve this, right? I hoped that things should happen. Now I used to get a phone call. I had a choice to lift the phone call or not lift the phone call from those credit card people. If you lift, then you are in trouble. You know that, right? Because they're going to say, you didn't pay it. When do you pay? Where are you? Will come and all that. But if you don't lift, it is like the car is standing in the dark. Maybe the light is there for 20 meters, but I'm not moving ahead. I thought, no, I need to take some action from there. So I picked the call and I told them, see, there are two things. There is something called as an intention to pay, and there is something called as an ability to pay. On today's date, I have the intention. I don't have the ability. You got to help me. How do I go about it? Now they took some time to, ye kya hai? Like people normally don't, when they don't pay, they just don't pay. But this fellow is talking and saying that I don't have money right now to pay, but I want to pay. Each one came out with different things. They gave me somebody gave me some time, somebody made some EMI, somebody did something. My brother, who's also there in this training, he would know it very well. He paid me some money to, clear little dues there. We did slowly certain things, but then this made me come out of my hibernation of those 3 months and started moving. Things happened. I get connected to somebody who had a business to manage and they were not finding somebody right to manage. So I said, see, I have this thing. So they have took my loans. They gave me their business and say, you manage the business, we'll take care of your loan. It's like somebody, who saved me out of this entire thing. So this happened, and this started from the hope piece, which I was talking about here. So that's what hope basically does to you. The key element of hope is perception. How are you perceiving things? How are you looking at things? How are you seeing what is it at this moment, and how do you want it to change? How do you want to work on it? See, perception is not reality. Perception is how you perceive in your mind about something. And then some point of time, if the reality and perception meets, then okay, it's a good meet. Otherwise you perceive. It's like some people you see, you like them and you perceive that they're very good. Some other might perceive the same person as very bad. It doesn't make the person either good or bad. It is just how each individual have perceived. So the key element of hope is how you are perceiving. And again, I'm going back to the same thing. Mind knows only multiplication. So give it the right thing to multiply. You give them the wrong thing, it multiplies that. Poor mind doesn't know what is right or what is wrong for you. It only knows that whatever comes to me, I will multiply it, I will amplify it. So you need to be careful there. Now, I was saying there's something about hope that you should be very, very clear about it. So it's like this. I try to explain you with an analogy over here. So it's like this bridge, from negative to positive. So hope is like the centerpiece of it, where you need to, which helps you to cross. Imagine that hope is not there. You would not cross from negative to positive. You need that hope. Now, hope, the other side of hope is also that if you are just hopeful forever, you are not going anywhere. You are going to get stuck there. For example, in my loans, I would have hoped that God will come and save me, and I would have just sat at my home and prayed, nothing would have happened. Right? Or somebody would come and help me and I will come out, nothing would have happened. You need to move. It's like the another analogy is, if you all know Tarzan, right? Tarzan, from a tree to tree, he uses a vine and then jumps. Imagine he was in a tree and he wants to go to the other tree, and when he used the vine and tried to jump, but he didn't leave the vine. He's still holding. Do you know what's going to happen? He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to get stuck there forever. So hope is not something that you are going to be there forever, or you stick there. The process is, that's why I said it's a process. The step one is you understand and you accept. The step two is you are hopeful about something and you use hope to go to the next step, which is action to life. Are we good with step two? If we're good, say yes. If you have some thing to ask, you can, maybe you can keep your question if at all you have in the end. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, this yes is fuel for a trainer. You know, any message coming is a fuel for the trainer. It is difficult to hope, is it? No, no, it is not difficult to hope. It is just your, I mean, it's just how you think. You need to work on your perception. Hope it's not difficult. Nothing is actually in that way, because it's a small game happening in your mind. You're just trying to manage it. It is, you might have put a lot of what is it, boundaries to yourself, or blockages to yourself, which you feel no, it doesn't happen. But for a moment, if you just come out of that and then think something, it's very easy. People do different things to get that, right? To get that side of that sort of a mindset to come out of a difficult situation. But hope is not difficult. You just need to try towards it. So once you accept it, your doors for hope will automatically open. If you are not accepting a situation, you are not hopeful. See, whatever I'm talking, I'm sure many of you would have also come out like this in your life, right? It is just that some would have observed it and some might not have observed how it happened. You think of a trouble or think of a challenge that you have faced and you have come out successfully. You would have actually done it in that way. You have accepted it to a point where you cannot bear it anymore. You accept it, and then door for hope opens automatically. Once door for hope opens, don't stand there. It's a thing to pass and then go for the next step, which is called action to life. Okay. Action to life. Action to life is, it's the key thing in all the three steps, because you started coming out and now you are hopeful. If you do not take action, then what's the point doing anything, right? The point is all about, now doors are open for you. You're hopeful. Now you need to start working on it. Once you start working on something, action gives satisfaction. You would start getting into that mindset. You would start working towards it, right? I told you my action moment at that time was when I picked the phone and I told them that I do not have the ability to pay, but I have the intention to pay. It's such a powerful action. When those people who are executives are calling, they really do not know what to do. It went back to from all the buckets. It came back to the bank, and the bank manager started talking to me, because they consider these as bad debts. Money is going, but now I'm saying no, I don't want to run away. I paid everybody. It took some time for me, but I paid everybody, and that gives a lot of satisfaction, right? Once you take action for anything, it gives a lot of satisfaction. The day COVID started, as I said, my first training in TVS was cancelled. I think in a subsequent 4 or 5 days, all my clients are out, because I do L&D consulting, right? We are like on the cake and icing, and I'm the cherry. Now it's tough time for them. They need to protect the cake, forget about the icing and the cherry. So they just said, sir, later, can't afford right now. So all my clients have moved out. Now I'm working from there. Now I hope things to happen. I have taken a lot of actions, and I'm sure by the time this comes, I would also come out and do something wonderful. So action to life is important. It helps you to move forward. If you don't act, you just stay there, right? Like I said, the car one, you see the light, it's a hope. But if you don't drive, if you don't put your foot on the pedal, if it doesn't go ahead, then you just get stuck there. It helps you to move forward, right? Path towards a desired result. Because when you're lost something, when you're in a worry, when you're in a challenging times, and you have accepted it, right? The doors of hope has opened for you. Now you see things much clearer, and you are fully focused there. Imagine, how do you walk on a road when road is all fine, and then when the road is say for example not fine? Your focus is more on the road. You don't want to fall down, right? Imagine, how do you run on a road if it is not raining and if it is raining? You're more cautious there, because you could slip, you could fall. So when tough times come, you take action which is much more focused. And if you do a focused action, there is no way that you would not reach what you really wanted to do. So that's the step 4. There are 3 mantras. how this actually works, right? If you could see the image besides, it talks about true failure isn't missing the target. True failure is never taking a shot. See, if you have not tried something, right, you are anyway failed. Maybe you try something, you will have a probability, you'll have chances, maybe 50-50. You still have a 50% chance to win. But if you don't take a shot, if you don't try to come out, if you don't take an action, you anyway lost it. You would anyway, who just lost that. It doesn't work that way. So the three things that you need to do when it comes to action for life is plan, progress, and adapt. Now let me tell you how this works. So the plan is thinking like, see, when I said you got to move to a particular direction and now you're focused, you need to figure out a clear plan how things needs to be done. In my case right now, say when I lost all my clients, I have the most positive thing, which COVID has done to me is it gave me a lot of time to think for myself, to think about what is it that I really want, maybe what is it that how I want to do. And it gave me a lot of things to try, to experiment, which I might not have done. So imagine if I have 4 clients where I'm full time busy in my life, I would not have tried something new or experimented something new. Now I'm getting a chance to do different things. Maybe these different things will slowly work, right? From assuming that I'll only do a training, I'm started working towards getting into an online education. We created a lot of programs on Basecamp for emerging leaders. We have some 7 detailed programs that are live, and it's on my website, where people can come, they can go through these courses, which will help them to go to the next level. We are working in a way to ensure help students especially on the entrepreneurial journey for it. So when we sat and analyzed and thought about it, we found that the 2 big challenges that are going to come, which I could be able to help with. One is the way sales going to happen next or post COVID time will change a little. Sales will be in a very different way. People don't want to meet people as often as they meet. So how do we bring a difference in sales? How do we do that? The second thing is, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. So many of them want to do something of their own. So this forced entrepreneurship going to come up. People need to become an entrepreneur, become a consultant, become different things that they know to start making some money to survive. So we thought I need to work on putting up an entrepreneurship program in place, because reaching those people, reaching those students, for example, reaching those freshers, reaching people who are like 1 to 3 years of experience who lost their jobs. What are those few small things that they need to do to ensure they can set up their place? It took a lot of years for me to come to that place. I don't want everybody to face the challenge. So we created programs on that. So what I'm trying to say is, once you accept that, okay, I lost all my clients and I have a hope that this will help me to build a lot more things than just doing a couple of companies consulting. Now I plan, right, on what programs needs to be do, and then we progress towards it. We started designing programs, we started putting things in place, we started making the contents in place, we started recording things. I've started learning different softwares which I've never thought I would learn. Got a lot of changes in the office depending upon what requirements for there, and you need to start doing it. I was kind of a person who's very, very clear with, I'm a classroom or, a conference room or a hotel room sort of a trainer. Face-to-face interaction is all my thing. And today I'm doing an online stuff. To do this thing, I need to learn softwares, which is not my cup of tea, but I have adapted it. I have picked a software, I've started working on it, I have started learning it, because I understand the 3 mantras over here is you plan, you progress, and then you adapt. And then you adapt on how, adapt on the situation, adapt on what needs to be done, be flexible. It's okay sometime this happens, or it's okay sometime it is not happening. What works for people? Just because you have something good or interesting, people will buy it or take it, is not going to happen. You need to solve their problem. Am I understanding their problem? You need to adapt to that situation and start working on those lines. So the bridge the gap between the negative mindset to positive mindset with acceptance, hope, and action. right? These are the 3-step process which I wanted to discuss this morning to ensure how a person can move, or how an individual can move from negative to positive. In fact, I think from now the title should change from negative to positive to challenges to solutions, because these 3 steps are not just because you had a corona on head, or a COVID on head, or you have lost some job. No, you get a lot of challenges in life which you enjoy solving it, right? The moment you use the word challenge instead of a problem, the way you look at it is very different. For any challenges that you face in life, try to apply the same principle, try to apply the same process. First, accept the challenge, understand it, and accept it. Second, hope how you would solve, and hope is just that little time you spent on it. And then action for life. Once you act for it, then the definition changes from challenges to solutions. So that's all I have from my side. So I believe that key to success is 100% within you. All you need to do is to unlock your potential and rise. You have any questions, you can ask me. This is all I have got for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vijay. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask. I hope you all have unmute access. Anybody not able to?
You can type a question, that's okay.
Yeah, if anybody not able to unmute, you can let us know. We will.
The participants can unmute themselves and ask the questions.
Okay.
That'll be better.
Vijay, while we wait for questions from them, this is a question that I generally ask a lot of people, being a trainer myself. Do you have a morning mantra, the one thing that you tell yourself or think about when you wake up?
I actually don't have anything to tell to myself. If it is there, I know it. I don't understand of, telling something to myself in that way. But I try most of the time to do my little morning sadhana if possible. That ensures me, be more sane for the entire day, and try to pick whatever things it is. So I'm not like a kind of a guy who's be like, yes, I have to do all these things, because I know I have to do and I will just do it.
And anything particular that you take care of before you go to bed? These are the things you will do. This is something that you will not do.
It is a similar rituals. Sometime back, I tried a lot of, somebody told me that before going to bed, if you really think about your entire day and see what all things that you have done wrong could have been done in a better way. I tried doing it. It worked with me for some times, but slowly I enjoyed the night session, like, Arey, aisa kiya, waisa karne se acha hota. That's basically how it happened. But it worked for me for a longer time. If you could recall about situations or scenes that have happened for you from morning till evening, maybe few places where you have acted in a way which you couldn't have been done. You would have done better than that. A little reminder to yourself, oh, maybe next time you should keep it in mind, will ensure it gives you a little, reminder next time when such a situation comes. So it helps you do that.
Anybody else who would like to ask a question?
Wonderful. Okay. I think your hour on Sunday morning is valued. I haven't taken much of that.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Chotilal, quick question? Any question? You've unmuted.
Yeah, ma'am. Just I want to know if anyone is criticizing in group. So how can come from that? But we have to work with them. Hello.
Sorry.
If anyone is criticizing in group to a particular person, but we have to work with them. We cannot go from away from them. So how can come from
you
that?
should not go away from anything. See, criticizing somebody about something, it basically, to me, it looks like somebody is giving you a feedback. If you are open for a feedback to work on something, change something, you will not feel it criticizing. if you accept the feedback that they're saying, you would not feel it criticized. And once you start implementing it, start doing it, the suggestion that has come to you, it works. In other cases, and sometimes where there are some people who deliberately wants to criticize it, don't worry for that. That doesn't make any sense, because you know that they're not going to help you. See, they might do whatever they want to do. How you react is completely your thing. So you shouldn't be worried for that. Most of the times when you feel criticized, but it's a genuine feedback they might be passing. So give a good thought about it. And if you can work for it, do it. If you feel that is not what it is, they're just having fun from it, avoid. That doesn't lead you to any good place.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chotilal. Anybody else? Please do unmute.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
please.
Yes. Who's this?
Sir, Balu Gadge.
Hey, Balu, how are you?
Sir, fine, sir.
Tell me.
सर मुझे सर एक पूछना था, अगर हमारे पास जो इन्वायरमेंट है, जितने भी आदमी इन्वायरमेंट में पूरे निगेटिव थिंकिंग वाले हैं, तो हम उनके साथ में कैसा बिहेवियर करें और कैसा अपने को खुद को पॉजिटिविटी में लेके जाए?
जब आपके आसपास हर कोई नेगेटिव है तो क्या करें? जब आपके पास जब लोग नेगेटिव होते हैं ना, तो आपके पास दो चॉइस होता है. उनके साथ मिल लो और नेगेटिव बन जाओ, या फिर उनके साथ रहो पर उनके थॉट से मत मिलो, आप अपने पॉजिटिविटी पे रहो. एक बंदे से शुरू करो एंड चेंज होगा. जैसे मैंने बोला था, माइंड विल ओनली नो मल्टीप्लिकेशन. यू नीड टू टच वन. इफ ही चेंजेस towards positivity, then it spreads faster. But the problem you might face is there's so much of negativity all around. You would feel ki, okay, let me be. That's not what it is there. See, nobody wants to be negative. अगर आप किसी को भी बोलोगे, आपका माइंड अगर आपका कंट्रोल में होना है, तो आप क्या चूज करोगे? आप नेगेटिव बनना चूज करोगे कभी भी? लोग नेगेटिव चॉइस से नहीं होते हैं, उनको पता नहीं होता है, राइट? एक से शुरू करो, जो आपके सबसे क्लोज है, उसको पॉजिटिव करो, देन मूव. इट विल स्प्रेड वेरी फास्ट. Just because somebody is negative, you don't need to be negative, because what they do is their thing. What you do is going to affect your life.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Anybody else? Okay, I have a question, Vijay. Again, as a trainer, this question keeps coming to me very often.
Yeah.
It is very easy to say that this is how you should be and move on. And when we listen to something inspiring, when we meet somebody inspiring, it feels good, right. But it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
what do you tell for such people?
So I told you in the example, right? It took 3 months for me, right, to come out of that hibernation. It is like that. It is so easy to say. It is very difficult to do, because we are doing it without understanding about it. The entire effort for me in this particular program is to bring the process in place. Now, if you know the process, the moment you feel, you know it's not easy, but you need to follow the process. Process is step 1, step 2, and step 3. And the first step says, understand, spend some time analyzing, this is the problem. You will automatically want to do. See, as I just now said, if you have a choice in life to become happy or not to be happy, what would you select? Obviously, you will select to be happy, isn't it? It is just that you feel you don't have the choice. That's why you're unhappy. You feel that it can't be solved. If you spend that little time in understanding it and accepting the problem, accepting the challenge, you would start walking towards it. We all have walked towards that. Nobody stayed ever in a particular trouble. कोई 2 दिन में walk किया होगा, somebody would have done it in 2 days, somebody would have done it in 10 days, or somebody would have done it in maybe 2 years. It depends upon the kind of thing. But the process is very clear. You need to accept, you need to understand and accept. You need to have hope to move towards, and then the step 3 works when you take action for it. Action is basically action to life. That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Any questions? If there's no question, Jagdish, over to you.
Right, we're on time. Maybe we started a little less late, but yes, it's good to be on time,
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay. It was a wonderful session. And I think, like what you said, people in the morning, they had a very good informative session on Sunday morning, I guess. So it was a valuable session for us to have a lot of inputs, because at this point of time, there are a lot of people with a lot of negative things which is there, like you said, because there are a lot of situations which has been come up with, which was unexpected in many ways, in kind of work or in kind of business, anywhere. So I think this is a very, very important thing which we have to look into, look at the positive, like the 20 meters, what you said, that is what even I look at it. I stopped, I switched off my light. I said, okay, I can see this. Okay, then after that, that is what the light also, even while driving also, I also try to reduce the high beams on the highway so that my vision is there. Then after that, let me go on to, I'll anyway get it. So it's not hinder the other people in the opposite. So I think it was a very good, wonderful session. And thank you so much for your valuable time. And I take this opportunity to give the vote of thanks for the session also, for all the participants who have been a part of this session, all the club members and the other guests who have been joined us during this session. So I'd like to thank everybody for being a part of it. And thank you once again for the wonderful session. And I think what Kausalya initially started with, I think you should look into joining Rotary, I guess, so that you will be able to do a lot of sessions with different groups. And because this is something which is positivity is something which many people needs now, and
Yes.
we have to spread it across. So let's hope to do it more. And I would like to thank you once again, and thank to all the members who have been a part of it, and all the other Rotarians who have been part of from the other clubs, and other members who have been part of it. And I hope the session was very informative. And any feedbacks, any suggestions, I would like everybody to give it us on the feedback form, which will be shared by Kausalya, so that we can able to come up with these better sessions. And also we will be able to share the speakers details also through mail for the registered participants, so that it will be easy for them also to get in touch with you. So in that way, it will be like more of a beneficially for everyone to understand the speaker and the preferences also. So we would like to thank you once again, and thanks to all the participants. Have a good Sunday. I think today there are many district events are also happening, multiple sessions happening at the same time. That is the advantage as well as the disadvantage of Zoom also, because at the same time we are having 5 events happening today.
Okay.
3 from the clubs and 1 from the district membership meet, and which is a big one. So that way, but we will be we have recorded the session, which will be posted on our YouTube link also, so that other people can also enjoy it, can get the information on it. So thank you so much, and thanks to all for joining in. And thanks Kaushalya for taking it up and doing the wonderful work. And also thanks to Subbu and Kavita.
The guests here, you can also check out our Facebook page, and so the future sessions, the events will be put up, so that you will get an idea of what sessions are happening every Sunday. And all the links, all of that is there on the Facebook page, Rotary E-Club of Bangalore 3190.
Thank you, Kausalya. So we would request everybody, and thanks to Subbu and Kavita also for introducing you to us, and it was a wonderful thing. And thanks to everyone, and have a good Sunday, and thank you all. Please keep following our Facebook page and our YouTube page, so that you get updates and records of our sessions and the speaker sessions, which we are having it every Sunday between 11 to 12. It will be of different speakers from different varied informations, which can be shared to health related or wellness, mindset, positivity, different kinds of topics we're trying to bring it up, which can be informative for people. We started this with last month during the lockdown, because the Sundays were the lockdown. We thought it's an informative lockdown session. So we are now still continuing it. Maybe now, since the situation is becoming normal, we might look into refacing the timings so that everybody can enjoy it. So we'll come all the feedbacks from all the participants also. And thank you all once again, and have a nice day.
Yep. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you.
The feedback link is there.